Hey, what's up guys? Today, I'll show you a body horror film, Thinner. Spoiler ahead, watch out, and take care. The movie begins when a gypsy caravan is traveling toward a certain town to camp. A prominent lawyer, Billy, sees the caravan passing through his home, and he appears to be annoyed by it. The noticeably obese Billy puts his heavy ass on the weight scale, and it indicates that he weighs 300 pounds. His wife prepares a diet shake for him, hoping that he would lose weight. She asks him his weight, and in response, he lies that he weighed 297. Apparently, the wife is tracking his weight. According to her, he weighed 297 pounds last week. This means that Billy continues to gain weight despite following a diet program. His daughter, Linda, joins them in eating breakfast. Linda teases Billy for accepting to defend a mafia boss bearing an angry mustache in court. Later, Billy presents a witness in the court, which allows him to successfully defend the mafia boss. As a result, the judge acquits the mafia boss of the murder charges against him. After the trial, Billy and the mafia boss celebrate together. The mafia boss tells Billy that he owes Billy for winning the case against him. After that, Billy proceeds to go to their law firm office. There, he finds the gypsy caravan at a public park in front of their office. A gypsy woman hands over a poster to him, which invites him to the upcoming gypsy fair. He then goes upstairs to their office, where everyone congratulates him. The law firm boss tells him to give a penny to a fierce and hot gypsy girl. He walks outside where he encounters the judge and the police, who are ordering the gypsy caravan to leave the park. The judge expresses his disgust against the gypsies. Meanwhile, Billy thanks the judge for giving him help to win his case. Apparently, the judge informs him about a detective agency, which allows him to find a witness to defend the mafia boss. As Billy is about to leave, the hot gypsy girl appears to seduce him with her gypsy hormones. Out of nowhere, the gypsy girl curses and spits at him. That night, Billy and his wife attend a celebration party. Billy keeps eating food at the party, but the wife seemingly stops him from eating more. As the party is over, Billy and his wife drive back to their home. Along the way, she convinces Billy to stop overeating. He replies that he cannot stop thinking about food. She then teases him that she will do something, which will stop him from thinking about food. She then eats his smelly sausage while he is driving. Meanwhile, the gypsy chief, Tadzu, and his daughter are buying medicine from a pharmacy. The daughter walks outside to get her coat. As she is crossing the street, Billy's car approaches her way. Since Billy is distracted from the hormone moment, he does not notice the daughter. He then hits Tadzu's daughter to death. The following day, Linda asks her father if he will be punished for hitting Tadzu's daughter. He explains that there will be no punishment for him, since an accident is not a crime. After eating breakfast, Billy attends the judge's inquest for the car accident. The police chief testifies that Billy is driving within the speed limit. At the same time, he claims that the breathalyzer test result indicates Billy was sober when the accident happened. But in reality, the police chief did not test Billy. After the testimony, the judge rules that the death of Tadzu's daughter is purely accidental. It appears that the judge and the police chief team up to cover up Billy's responsibility for the death of Tadzu's daughter. After the inquest, Billy and his wife walk to their car. As they are about to leave, Tadzu approaches Billy. Weirdly enough, he suddenly touches Billy's face as he utters the word thinner. The next week, Billy experiences a sudden loss of his weight. He now weighs 283 pounds from weighing 300 pounds last week, despite eating a lot of food. The wife then thinks that he's losing weight from the guilt. Later, Billy plays golf with the judge and their friend, Dr. Mike. They notice Billy's weight loss from his appearance. As they are in the locker room, the judge asks Dr. Mike to check a weird thing growing on his skin. Dr. Mike instructs the judge to just put an ointment on it. Dr. Mike weighs Billy again. Surprisingly, Billy lost another 2 pounds again in a very short amount of time. After a while, the judge informs Billy that Tadzu touches him earlier while he is eating lunch with his wife. Billy asks the judge if Tadzu utters anything to him, but the judge replies he was not able to hear anything. After another week, Billy loses another 25 pounds of his weight. He now weighs 256 pounds from 283 pounds last week. The wife then starts to worry about Billy's massive weight loss. She says that it is an early sign of cancer, so she advises Billy to take a test. Billy follows her advice to take the tests. Dr. Mike reveals the results, and it indicates that Billy is perfectly healthy. Dr. Mike advises him to relax, since everything will be fine. Later, Billy goes to his tailor, and the tailor is surprised to see him lose weight. The tailor finds Billy's waistline down to 38 after he measured it. Billy weighs himself again, and he is now down to 230 pounds. So the tailor asks him about his diet. Billy replies that the tailor will not be happy to have a massive weight loss in a short span of time. That night, Billy eats a great amount of food, hoping he can stabilize his weight. He keeps eating like a monster, which greatly upsets Linda. The wife expresses his disappointment with Billy's obsessive overeating. She says that it is not a good sight for their daughter Linda, so she decides to let Linda stay at her aunt's house. She also tells Billy to find a good clinic to check his condition. Billy soon lets himself be checked by an expert. Dr. Mike reveals that the test results indicate Billy does not have parasites or tapeworms. Dr. Mike says the expert recommends the Glassman Clinic to further check Billy's condition. Billy notices that the judge's wife is extremely sad while eating alone. He then gets a hint that the judge might be suffering from an unknown condition like him. Later, he comes to ask the judge's wife if the judge is sick. The wife lies that the judge is out of town. Billy reveals to her that he lost 100 pounds quickly. She replies that it must be the gypsies responsible for his sudden weight loss. She believes that Tadzu cursed him and the judge after Tadzu touched them. She reveals that Tadzu whispers the word lizard to the judge. After some time, the judge's skin slowly turns into a scale, while his hands turn into claws and his eyes turn into a bright little speck, just like a lizard. Billy refuses to believe that there is such a thing as gypsy curses. As he is about to leave, the judge's wife insists that both of them are cursed, even though he doesn't believe her smelly bullshit. The judge's wife then blames him for it. He replies that the judge is also responsible for covering up his crimes. Billy leaves, and he proceeds to call the mafia boss to ask if gypsy curses are real. The mafia boss asks her mother about it. The mother answers gypsy curses are real, and whoever puts the curse is the only one who can remove it. Soon after, Billy tells his wife about the gypsy curse, but she instantly dismisses the idea, thinking that it is extremely absurd. She then insists Billy should stay for a while in the clinic so they can observe him. Billy visits the clinic, and his test results indicate that there's nothing wrong with him. He thinks that the doctors in the clinic cannot help him, so he decides to leave. Billy visits the police chief to check if he is also cursed, since he is an accomplice in covering up Billy's crime. There, he finds out that the police chief is also cursed by Tadzu. The police chief has gross bumps throughout his skin. The furious police chief instructs Billy to commit revenge against Tadzu, believing that Tadzu will not take the curse away. He hands over a gun to Billy, who refuses to take it. Billy leaves, and the police chief shoots himself using the gun. Billy walks back home, and he sees Dr. Mike coming out of their home. At this point, he suspects that his wife and Dr. Mike are having an affair. He sneaks inside their hormone-smelly home, and he insists to his wife that he is cursed. He believes the curse is making him thinner until he turns into nothing. The following day, Dr. Mike tells Billy to go back to the clinic. In response, Billy says he will find the gypsies in order to remove the curse. Dr. Mike says to the wife that Billy is already losing his mind. Billy meets an informant. He asks the informant about the track of the gypsy caravan. The informant reveals the gypsy caravan is heading toward the coast. Billy goes back to their home, and there he finds out that Dr. Mike is advising Billy's wife to sign a legal paper that will force Billy back to the clinic. After that, Billy drives to find the gypsies. He had left a letter to his wife, informing her about it and instructing her to end her affair with Dr. Mike. Billy eventually finds a lead to another informant. He asks the informant about the location of the gypsies. The informant takes out a poster indicating that his wife and Dr. Mike declared Billy a missing person. The informant reveals the location of the gypsies and also promises to keep his mouth shut about Billy in exchange for money. That night, Billy has a bad dream. He dreams that he is in a carnival where Tadzu laughs at him as he slowly loses weight. The hot gypsy girl, who turns out to be Tadzu's granddaughter, shows him dolls that depict his condition after he loses more weight. She then scares him, prompting him to run his ass away. The judge, who now looks like a lizard, arrives to help him escape. The judge drives like a madman, and out of nowhere, a fire truck driven by Tadzu approaches them. The fire truck hits their car, and a school bus, also driven by Tadzu, approaches their car again. After that, Billy wakes up from the bad dream, completely scared. He immediately calls to check on the judge, and it turns out the judge is already dead from a car accident. The following night, Billy finally finds the camp of the gypsies. There, he tells Tadzu that cursing them won't bring his daughter back. In return, Tadzu insists justice has nothing to do with bringing back the dead, and the curse is gypsy justice. Tadzu adds that he will never take off the curse, and he will die with it. Billy drops to his knees and begs Tadzu to take it off, but Tadzu only threatens him to make it worse. In response, Billy says he curses the gypsies through the bonfire, making the gypsies laugh at him. The granddaughter then slingshots a stone at him, which pierces through his hand. He drops from the pain, and he declares that the curse of the white man from town is already on the gypsies. The next day, Billy calls the mafia boss, asking for a doctor. Soon after, the doctor arrives to treat Billy's hand wound. Knowing Billy's condition, the mafia boss personally visits him. At this moment, the mafia boss witnesses Billy's pitiful condition, as he already loses a lot of weight. He also informs Billy that his wife has signed a legal paper, forcing Billy to be taken to a mental hospital. After that, the mafia boss proceeds to help Billy to commit revenge against the gypsies. He puts a warning sign to take off the gypsy curse. Then he pays money to a teenager to inform him if the gypsies move their location. The next day, the teenager calls the mafia boss to update him. But later, Tadzu's granddaughter and her husband ambush the teenager. Later, Billy and the mafia boss walk out of their house, and they find the mutilated body of the teenager, which serves as a warning sign for them. This makes the mafia boss Mustache grow angry, so that night, he prepares to attack the gypsy camp. He brings a heavy rifle to the gypsy camp, and he starts shooting at everyone in the camp. He also managed to hostage the granddaughter's husband. He lets the husband walk back to the camp, and he shoots him to death. The next day, the police come over to the camp to investigate. The mafia boss disguises himself as an investigator, and he manages to convince Tadzu's granddaughter to follow him into a barn house. There, he threatens to put acid on her face. He then instructs her to tell Tadzu to meet them in the lighthouse. Billy sits on a bench in front of the lighthouse, and Tadzu soon meets him. Tadzu agrees to remove the curse, in fear that the mafia boss might hurt his granddaughter. But to remove the curse must be transferred to another person. Billy needs to put the curse in the pie and let someone eat it. As a result, whoever eats the cursed pie will inevitably die. Tadzu then advises Billy to die cleanly, rather than commit another murder. Billy comes home, and he lets his wife eat the pie as revenge, since she cheated on him. The next day, Billy wakes up, only to find out that his wife is already a rotting corpse. He walks downstairs, and he finds that his daughter Linda also eats the pie. He then feels extremely guilty. He decides to eat the pie too. But as he is about to eat, Dr. Mike knocks at the door. In the end, Billy offers the death pie to Dr. Mike to finally complete his vengeful act. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Stay safe and enjoy your day.